So let me ask you something. Is it fair to say that the people of a country share some common characteristics? Do the people of a certain country have some traits of personality that are common to all of them? Is it fair to say this, or saying this is prejudiced? And let me ask you another thing. Do we have to accept all those characteristics, no matter what they are, in our own lives? And if we don't, is that prejudice? This is the basis of a very, very funny series of French comedies called Serial Bad Weddings. I went to see number 2. In French, it's called Qu'est, qu'on a fait, encore, bondieu? And it's about prejudice. Hi, welcome to Light Screening, the channel for movie lovers more than movie savvies. My name is Gisela Cruz. I am Portuguese. I'm a former journalist and a former PR. I am a lover and a student of life and art and obviously movies. So I'm going to talk to you today about Serial Bad Weddings 2. This is a fabulous, enormous cast, and it's a very, very funny and right out of the bat, a very funny comedy about prejudice. So the basis is, it was in 2014 that Philippe Chauveron, this is a director with a very impressive body of work. He directed a movie, the first one of this series, and it was about this very French, very white, very Catholic couple who had 4 daughters, and their daughters married minorities. So one husband is a Jew, another husband is a Muslim, another husband is, I think, Chinese. I wasn't clear on if it was Chinese or from Tibet, but I think it was Chinese. And another one is an African husband. So this couple has a little bit of some adaptation to do to each of these couples, because not even the weddings are what they were supposed to have, what they expected for their daughters. I mean, they have to negotiate a lot of their personality traits to incorporate these different cultures, and it's very, very funny to watch. This was a blockbuster in 2014, and now the second movie of the series came along, and I have to say, I saw this one, the second one, before I saw the first one. All the critics online are saying that the first one is way better. I do understand that it was risky, okay, in 2014, to do something about prejudice, to talk about cultures, such different cultures, and to make a couple not be at ease. You know, it wasn't flourished. It was the jokes were quite powerful, and in this one, in the second movie, I think they were even a little bit further. They went a little bit further with the jokes, and with they tested the waters in the first one. I found that the jokes were more powerful on this one. I laughed out loud. The critics online are saying that they didn't, that the first one was a lot funnier. Probably because it was news. Now I think the writers were a bit more confident that they could joke about this theme and that they wouldn't be, badly interpreted. This is a super interesting film to watch and to test your own limits and to see what you yourself accept and what you don't. This couple tries very hard to accept these sons-in-law. They try very hard, but there are some things that they just can't deal with, and that they wish were different. Is that prejudice? I mean, this is the constant question, even between the sons-in-law. There are some jokes and some stuff that makes you just burst out in laughing, because they are all minorities supposedly, and they should stick together maybe, but then do they also look at France with with a little bit of a backlash. Do they accept everything about the French culture? Do they not? I mean, in this movie, the first movie was about the weddings, okay? They decide to get married to these different people, these men from different cultures, and the poor parents, they just have to cope with it. No matter what they think, they have to make their best to accept it. And so it's a series of very funny trials for this couple. This time it's the other way around. The sons-in-law are increasingly disappointed with France because they don't feel welcome and they are wanting to leave. And then online I've been reading that this is a shameless postcard of France. This is a shameless propaganda film. The script does fall into that, okay, because these parents, this white Catholic middle-aged, bigger than middle-aged couple tries very hard to make these sons-in-law stay so they can be close to their grandchildren, and obviously they decide to show them that France is a lot better than they are feeling, and so it is the easy way out, if you will. It's not a brilliant script, but I think there are some brilliant little provocations and brilliant jokes and brilliant gags, and I think that it's worth watching for the theme, okay? It's just there were moments in theater that people were laughing out loud. I mean, in a conversation in a coffee shop, we'd be ashamed to say those words and to admit that we think this or that, or that we consider that this or that country has this common trait. I mean, in a world that is being overpowered by the politically correct, can't we talk about the differences? I mean, do we have to just close our eyes to them, pretend that they are not there? No, the really interesting thing about the world is that there are differences between countries. I mean, to point them out or to joke about them, is that prejudice? No, it isn't. So it's interesting to see all of this. What is the fine line to prejudice? Because there is a fine line. I think it's the intent, okay? You are going to joke and you are going to point your finger. You are going to pick up the easy stuff when you're mad at somebody, or when you want to hit somebody back. You know, you are going to pick up the easiest, and sometimes it is cultural differences. Is that prejudice? I mean, if it's not badly intended, but in an argument, for instance, it is badly intended, or at least it intends to hurt or to win. Is that prejudice? I mean, this film has all of that, and it makes you laugh about it. And if you may come out of it just saying, oh yeah, that was funny. No, sit down and think about what you thought was funny. You know, what's the fine line? Because there was somebody next to me that didn't laugh at all the jokes. And I think that she was increasingly getting uncomfortable. Because in this movie, this couple does have prejudice. I mean, they grew up in a different world. I mean, they are from the countryside of France. So they do have there are some things that they wouldn't like to negotiate, okay? And they do their best to negotiate them. So that's funny. But as the room was laughing, there was one person next to me that I saw that was sort of increasingly uncomfortable. She couldn't laugh. I'm okay with myself, you know, I'm okay with my opinions. I can say some stuff that is considered a little bit borderline because I'm just a sucker. I love everybody. If you tell me you're a carrot, I'll make sure that you live life as a carrot. I don't even care where you're from or what you were born like. If you tell me that you believe you're a carrot, I don't care. I'm gonna make sure that I respect you as a carrot. So I may joke that you're a vegetable, you know. I may joke that you need to be buried on dirt, but I love you and I'm going to take care of you. So I'm okay with myself and with my choices. So I joke about it and I laugh, and I have no problem in laughing about all those jokes, but it's not for everybody. And it's interesting to watch. This is a comedy, people. These are two comedies because the blast from the past, I obviously have to recommend the first movie of the series, the one about the weddings. And there is another one being made, already being written, at least that's what IMDb says. And I do hope it's about the education of their children, because they touched it in the first movie, and it would be so funny. Because that's the real challenge, okay? You can accept everything, but what do you want to give to your children? What are the values, the core values, the religion, the structure, the moral structure, the limits of freedom? What are you going to pass on to your children? So I do hope it's about that. I do hope it's about the children. That would be, because that's where marriages get strained, okay? Even with people that are not completely culturally different. So this is a very, very, very serious issue that I think is brilliantly exploited here. Again, it's not a brilliant script. I think it's a brilliantly exploited theme with very interesting jokes, always in the borderline, okay? And it's very interesting to watch, and for you to think about yourself and about, do you have prejudice? Because we all do. I'm saying that I accept everybody, but what's different kind of takes me aback, maybe, and I have to take a little time to accept it. We all have some common ground, and more in this internet world. The rules are being set, and apparently we are not being given the chance to have our own opinions, and to have our own limits, I mean, even some countries are allowing things to our own characteristics to be washed away, because we need to accept everything. So this is very difficult to set boundaries, okay, and to be fair, and to be accepting, and yet mindful of our own identity. So this is what it's about. I could keep saying, I didn't say much about the technical issues of the film. Let me say that the main character, the couple, is played by Christian Clavier. This guy is brilliant. He's a brilliant comedian. He's brilliant. I mean, all the fabulous comedies from France now probably have Christian Clavier. He did this one movie, let me just one tip. He did one movie called Do Not Disturb, in French, Une heure de tranquillité. I think that was the title. That is almost everything, just him and a few visitors, okay? He's brilliant. He's a brilliant comedian. He has the timing, the faces, so believable. And then it's a huge cast. I mean, just the kids are 8. The daughters and the husbands are 8. So all of these people have massive careers. The director, Philippe de Chauveron, has a massive career. The other writer, it was Philippe Chauveron and Guy Laurent, who wrote these films. They have, I mean, you have to respect their careers. The cast was brilliant. It was perfect, super believable. They're beautiful. All of them are beautiful, which is always, it doesn't hurt, all of them. The girls are beautiful. The husbands are beautiful. They're all beautiful. The couple is beautiful. So it doesn't hurt. And they're very funny, very believable. It's just not the perfect script again. It kind of gets into that cliche of the great France and the propaganda. It does, it's the easy way out. But, and you are not exactly surprised by the ending or anything like that. But if you are really into this discussion of differences, I mean, you have a good time. So I absolutely recommend it, okay? See you next time. If you like what I'm saying, please subscribe. To all of you who did, thank you so much for the support. I hope I can keep doing this. I'm trying to get the channel a little better. I'm not using any of I'm not buying likes. I'm not doing studying SEO. I know a little bit about it. I'm doing what I can. Just me. No editing, no big production, no nothing. It's just me online talking about something I love, that is films. If you want to support it, just subscribe, please. I am not very boring. I mean, I don't post a lot of videos. I post videos on Mondays or Tuesdays or Thursdays according to what I see that week. So either Mondays or Thursdays, mainly Thursdays. If I don't have anything to post on Monday, I'll just post on Thursday. So once a week, twice a week, not something that you're gonna be bombarded with. So if you want to keep up with the movies in theaters, just subscribe and share and like and comment, please. That would be nice. Thank you so much. See you next time.